guys, welcome back to another video. This video is probably going to be super messy and long because I have a bunch of content for this video, but I do not have the patience to get it all organized. But I hope you have fun nonetheless. I worked pretty hard on all these characters and their stories. So if you haven't read from the title, this is the clan generator challenge. So you get a randomly generated clan, and mine was called ShrubClan, and I decided to draw all the cats in ShrubClan and give them their own backstories and kind of do a little dive into ShrubClan and what they're about. So let's get into that. So to start off, I thought it would be nice and helpful to get to know a little bit of the clan's territory before I design them. So my idea was like a lush, clean woodland area, and I knew I wanted a creek running through like the whole territory. And then at the end, there's this waterfall that forms a nice big pool, and I imagine that pool touched territory of all the clans surrounding ShrubClan, so it was really sacred, and it was kind of like their moon pool, I guess. And it's just, I imagine that ShrubClan is so connected to that water because I had to come up with a reason. It's called ShrubClan because that's a very broad, basic name. So I just imagined that their ancestors had to take shelter in a bush, and there was this queen with her litter of kits, and they took shelter under the shrub. So those kids later became the original clan leaders. ShrubKit being the leader of ShrubClan, ShrubStar, and their little mates would lead the other clans. So all the clans are really connected by blood, deep in their ancestry. I also made up this little tradition where every leaf fair they have this big festival of games, of clan games in ShrubClan, where the apprentices and the warriors can compete in like fighting and hunting, similar to the daylight gathering in the books, but they do it yearly and it's just a one clan thing. And it's just really special, and they can earn little pelt adornments or flowers if they win. And I just thought it would be interesting in a way to give more of the cats accessories because I love drawing accessories on cats. Okay, with my boring rambling out of the way, let's move on to the actual speed paints. So of course we're going to start out with the clan leader, Emberstar. She's a short-haired, black and red ticked tortoiseshell tabby she-cat with gold eyes. Emberstar is a bit of an old she-cat, but she would never let you say that to her face. She's adventurous and willing to take risks, but she also has very high expectations for her clan, and she's not really approachable because of it. She's not very fond of mistakes in her clan and has a very long list of punishments for misbehaving cats or cats that just decide to not listen to her. She takes the clan's connection with StarClan very seriously, and the warrior code is not a joke to her. She's pretty good at buckling down and keeping every cat inside the lines. She also has one daughter, and decided after she became deputy that she'd rather live in a leadership role than stay in the nursery. She loves her daughter very much, but she often pushes her daughter to be perfect, just like her. Otherwise, she truly wants what's best for her clan and believes that her my way or the highway type of teaching is truly what gets cats to behave. She just needs to learn that sometimes rules are made to be broken. Next up is the deputy Sitleg, a black she-cat with sparse fur and amber eyes. Sitleg is a pretty quiet she-cat who's very compliant when it comes to Emberstar. Sitleg does what she's told, and she's very good at organizing patrols and keeping every cat in order. She's always been a bit intimidated by Emberstar, which leads to her doormat tendencies. Emberstar likes Sitleg's obedience, and that's what won her deputy. But she's actually much more qualified than any cat would think. She thinks that Emberstar does her job well, and Sitleg knows that she's getting older. The thought of becoming Sitstar scares her, and she's not sure if she could take over the whole clan. Her clanmates believe in her, she just needs to believe in herself. When it comes to Sitleg's design, when it said sparse fur, I thought something like a Donskoy cat, So that's what I tried to portray with that fleshy color in her fur. And I do like how it came out with that scraggly sort of design, even though I've never drawn a Dawn Square cat before. Next is Solandon Sneeze. She's one of the clan's healers, and she's a short-haired chocolate point she-cat with ember eyes. Solandon is quite an ancient healer. She cares immensely for her clan, and that care can leave her stressing about little things that don't really matter that much. She's a busybody and constantly needs something to do, or else she feels useless. She sees Ember Star as an incredible leader that keeps her clan safe, but the leader's perfection-seeking personality pushes Solandon Sneeze to work even harder. If Solandon isn't busying herself in the medicine den, which isn't often, you can find her picking flowers and finding new ones to adorn to her pelt. She has very little time in her busy schedule, so the plants usually stay wilted for a few days before she removes them. She's also farsighted, so she has trouble seeing things that are farther than a tail length from her eyes. Solandon is a kind of herb that's used for damage dyes in the book, so I thought it would be a good name for her, considering she has bad eyesight. Solandon is actually yellow in real life, so it's absolutely perfect for this drawing because it matches Solandon Sneeze's eyes so well, and I think it looks really cute. Next is ShrubClan's second healer, Cormorant Fur, a tuxedo tom with short fur and green eyes. Cormorant Fur is a reserved tom who rarely speaks to other cats. Well, other living cats, that is. He's never been too big on herbs, but he has an incredible connection to StarClan, possibly the strongest in the forest. He can't sleep without his dreams interrupted, and has trouble speaking to other cats because he constantly has something on his mind. He converses with StarClan twice as much as the other healers in the forest. While he's often overwhelmed by all his thoughts, he actually has very high emotional intelligence. While he isn't very social, he's a great listener and knows what to say when he needs to. He just doesn't talk if there's not a reason to. His clan knows this and respects it, but that doesn't mean they don't find him a little bit strange. And his tuxedo fur was based off of an actual cormorant bird, which is a black and white bird in real life, and I think he looks pretty cool. The first of our warriors in ShrubClan is a she-cat named Shadowthroat, a short-haired white she-cat with a black and red spotted calico tabby tail and ears and blue eyes. Shadowthroat is tough and irritable on the outside, but she's actually pretty reasonable. She's polite to people who treat her with respect and decency. She gets into fights easily and wins most of the ones that she's in, but she never starts a fight unless it needs to be started. She loves kids and spends the time that she isn't patrolling in the nursery. She loves their pure innocence, their sweet nature, and the endless enthusiasm that the new clanmates have. She would love to have kids of her own someday, but she's in no rush to start a family, and knows that the time will come when it's ready. I feel like Shadowthroat is a very trustworthy, respected senior warrior who probably helps with a lot of the decision-making in the clan, and I really like her. The next cut-up is probably one of my favorites. His name is Pearlstorm, a hairless white tom with gold eyes. Pearlstorm is a hard-working tomcat who's constantly fidgeting with something. He's always jumping from thing to thing and completely engrosses himself in every task, but moves on quickly when he gets bored. He needs something to keep his paws busy, and often plays kit games with leaves and other objects. In fact, he loves to play with kits because of his childish nature. Even though he's a playful goof, if he's assigned to do something, he'll do it right, but it might take a while because of how easily he gets distracted. He's a bit of a perfectionist and sometimes just trash talks himself for no reason. He has pretty high self-confidence, and insulting himself is kind of a way of keeping himself humble. He's a playful being, and I gave him butterfly wings to represent his busy yet beautiful mind. He has a little bit of kitty ADHD, and I think it makes him so lovable. Next we have Crowsight, a black spotted tabby tom with long fur and copper eyes. Crowsight can be a bit of a bragger, but he's very good at it. Almost so good that it doesn't even feel like he's bragging. He gets along with everyone naturally, not because he's perfect, but because he has a good heart and always has a joke to pop. He oddly refers to himself in the third person, but he thinks it's ominous in like a cool way. He loves the Leaf Bear Festival and claims that he is the tree climbing champion. He participates in the competitions like an eager apprentice, and he keeps all of his prizes adorned on him to show it. Although he comes off as confident and committed, he has a crippling fear of death. He's afraid that he won't leave a legacy behind, and that everything the skilled warrior has done won't matter after his final days. He has a deep drive to know that he won't be ignored or forgotten by his clan, sometimes taking unnecessary risks to be recognized as important. His fear has slowly been being edged away, as his mate Black Cloud is heavily pregnant with his kits. He feels that having kids with the cat he loves so much will help his legacy last. I really like Crowsight, and I like that he's so confident, but he has one fear that holds him back from certain things. Now for probably the edgiest cat in the clan, Thriftstone, a short-haired blue tom with hazel eyes. Thriftstone is a very antisocial cat. He wasn't always that way though. When he was an apprentice, he was bright, energetic, and eager to learn. But soon before he was made a warrior, he was taken by Two Legs for a few moons. When he was found, he had been fixed and declawed. It absolutely destroyed his self-worth. He's able to take in and retain information very quickly, and had almost all of his warrior skills down before he was even 10 moons old. But after being declawed, he now has a permanent limp. He dreamed of being a father, but he can't have kids now. He's become standoffish and distant. Emberstar even considered him for deputy because of how well his training had gone and how easily he followed the code. He's still young, but he feels like Two Legs ripped the life out of him, like they ripped away his claws. Now everything that matters to him is proving to himself that he isn't worthless by training harder and harder, getting used to using his teeth rather than his claws, and his strength to his advantage. Next is Pearlstorm's sister Nightstone, a hairless, black-ticked tabby she-cat with amber eyes. Nightstone is a fairly chaotic she-cat. She always has a witty comeback ready for any situation. She's loyal and dependable, and is as much of a goofball as her brother's Pearlstorm. But she is much more of a flirt. She's constantly dropping pickup lines on cats she doesn't even like romantically. She's honestly a hopeless romantic with whimsy flowing through her veins, and she definitely tells her brother about absolutely anything that makes her heart flutter. For Nightstone's design, I didn't give her the usual tabby stripes because I wanted her to be a solid color like her brother, Pearlstorm. Next is Rookfall, a short-haired black tom with copper eyes. Rookfall is a bit clumsy and is constantly in the medicine den with twisted paws and torn claws. He loves to climb trees and perch in high places. While he's an observer, he's also very social. He's cunning and very good at solving brain teasers and mind tricks. He's usually pretty friendly, but he knows how to get his way. Rookfall is seen as confident yet detached and unaffected by everything. But it's not true. He actually cares deeply. He just tries not to let things get to him, because he's a goofy boy and he likes to have a good time. His positive attitude makes him a pretty fun dude to be around. Next is another one of my favorites, Rosetail, a long-haired red mackerel Suedo tabby tom with yellow eyes. Rosetail is a spontaneous tomcat with a very loud laugh. He's good at seeing the bright side of everything in every situation. He always has a compliment ready for every cat and is a delightful cat to be around. A hobby of his is foraging for berries or fungus and asking Solandrasneys if they're worth anything. He loves the little things and is able to see the beauty in the world ShrubClan has given them. He is the mentor of Dacepaw and takes his training slowly. Dacepaw was badly injured as a kid, so Rosetail takes his training very carefully, making sure that there is a compromise for every fighting move that Dacepaw can't do. He loves to teach Dacepaw to see the best in everything. Beauty can be hidden in low places. I also like to imagine an adorable friend group between Rosetail, Pearlstorm, and Brookfall. I think because of all their goofy personalities, they would be so cute, and it would be such a cool dynamic. The last warrior I have is Ravenface, a short-haired black she-cat with hazel eyes. Ravenface is the kind of cat that seems effortlessly perfect. She's Emberstar's daughter, and her mother has pushed her to be this way. But the fact of the matter is, she's not. She feels like she's wasted her life trying to live up to the standards of her clan, and be as perfect as they all think that she is. Oftentimes, instead of being open about her feelings, she sneaks away from camp just to shout at the stars. One day, a loner met her. Ravenface could be open with him. She could talk to him. Sooner or later, she was slacking on patrols because she was exhausted after hanging out with him all night. She was in love, but as the leader's kit, she knows that loving someone who isn't from her own clan would crush her mother. But Ravenface couldn't bring herself to leave the loner. He made her happy. Her joy didn't last long when she realized that she was carrying his kits. What would she tell her clan, her mother? Ravenface's pregnancy is only more reasons for her to keep away from the loner. And finally, she stopped seeing him. She still hasn't told her clan about the kits, but they'll figure out sooner or later. I think if I had to pick a main protagonist for ShrubClan, it would probably be Ravenface because of all the struggles she has to face keeping her relationship with her clan and her mother good and healthy, while also keeping her kits good and healthy. And it would be very difficult trying to live up to all these expectations. Now for ShrubClan's one and only apprentice, Dacepaw, a long-haired caramel tom with copper eyes. Dacepaw was once a curious kitty pet that came from the litter of a barn cat not too far from ShrubClan territory. When Dacepaw was only about 3 moons old, he had wandered away and crossed into ShrubClan territory and was badly injured by a coyote. His tail and hind leg were both horribly injured, but he was saved by a ShrubClan patrol before he was killed. By the time the small kit had healed, he had no recollection of where he had come from, and kind of naturally joined the clan. Emberstar still isn't sure if he will ever become a warrior, and is waiting for a sign to make a decision. On the other hand, Dacepaw dreams of the day he gets his warrior name, and is eager in training. His mentor Rosetail is taking his training very slowly, but will do anything he can to help Dacepaw succeed. He really looks up to Rosetail, and he even styles his hair like him. Dacepaw wants to prove to Emberstar that he has what it takes, and doesn't let his injuries hold him back. His full warrior name will be Daceleap, for his persistence and willingness to leap into any situation during his healing and his training. For Dacepaw's design, I kind of tried to give him the stripes that Dacefish have on them, and I think it came out pretty good and makes his name make more sense. For our first ShrubClan queen, we have Blackcloud, a black mackerel tabby she-cat with curly fur and yellow eyes. Blackcloud is currently heavily pregnant with her mate Crowside's kits. She is joyous about having kits, and Celandon Sneeze says that she'll likely have a large litter. Blackcloud is soft-spoken and kind, but she's also incredibly observant. She's the only cat that has noticed Ravenface's pregnancy. While she'd usually be excited that her kits will have friends in the nursery, she's still suspicious. She knows Ravenface didn't necessarily want kits, and she didn't have a mate. Crowside tells her she's probably just overthinking things, and even if she's right, it's none of her business. While she loves Crowside with her whole heart, she sometimes wished he would listen a bit more. Of course, Blackcloud has always been quiet. Sometimes cats don't take her seriously. She sees how genuinely kind-hearted her mate is, and she knows that he just wants her to relax while she's in the nursery. That doesn't stop her from worrying about her friend. She later does have a litter of 4 kits: Leech Kit, Jump Kit, Eel Kit, and Storm Kit. I really like her design, and I think her big fluffy tail and her curly fur really does make her look like a big storm cloud, which kind of fits her name of Blackcloud. Our second ShrubClan queen is Vervainier, a lilac and cream spotted tortoiseshell she-cat with long fur and gold eyes. Vervinier is kind of every cat's grandmother. She's kind and gentle, but also strict and knows how to handle rowdy kits. She's a musical soul, and while she's too old to have any more kits, she's decided to become a permanent queen to help the new mothers of the clan. She loves to sing and hums a tune to the kits every night to soothe them to sleep. She's the best cat in the clan at cleaning ears and paws, and takes pride when every kit gets their apprentice name, even kits that aren't hers by blood. She's a pro queen and doesn't plan on retiring. She'll raise the next generation until the day she dies, and she makes sure the clan knows that. She's basically been a queen since the year she became a warrior, when she had her very first litter of kits with her mate. And when he died, she decided that she loved to be with the kits, and that she didn't want to return to her warrior duties. I tried to make her look big and soft, because she truly is just a big sweetie. I love her fluffy, diluted tortoiseshell fur. It's really cute, and it makes her look so much more welcoming and friendly, and I think it suits her. Now into ShrubClan's one den father, Swanstream, a white tom with short fur and copper eyes. Swanstream is a very kind cat. While on patrol, he discovered a box, and inside was a litter of hardly 3-week-old mewing kittens. The kits were so precious, and he knew that he needed to take care of them. It didn't affect him much, because he's always been more of a caretaker than a fighter. He likes to make others happy in his free time just because it makes him feel good. The kits are about 4 moons old now, and they fit in with the clan as well as any cat. They're excited to get their apprentice names, and are trying to convince Emberstar to let them choose their own mentors, which obviously she didn't allow. She doesn't get humor out of much, but the kits even happen to make Emberstar happy. The first kit and largest of his litter is Roach Kit, a short-haired, deep chocolate tom with blue eyes. Roach Kit is the largest of his litter. He tries to act tough like his bulky exterior, but is truly a softie. He has a tendency to cuddle while he sleeps, and I mean, who wouldn't want to cuddle with this cute little bean? The next kit is Snail Kit, a Siamese she-cat with short fur and starry blue eyes. Snail Kit is the middle kit, but really is kind of the leader of their little kit group. She's mischievous and sneaky, and loves to play tricks on the big cats. But she needs to realize that life isn't always about having fun. And she's also super cute, and she's the one right near Swanstream's kit. The last of the kits, and the youngest kit, is Inchworm Kit, a Siamese she-cat with short fur and blue eyes and a round build. Inchworm Kit is the smallest kit, but she's the most fun. She loves to play and skip around the nursery like a cricket. It's really hard for her to sit still. How can you stay still when there's so much to do? I love Inchworm Kit, and she's so cute. She has the most precious little smile, and I bet she is a blast. Moving on to our elders, aka the spiciest of grandmas, we have Redwind, a red spotted tabby she-cat with short fur and amber eyes. Redwind is an elder of great wisdom. She's very old, so old in fact that she lived under ShrubStar's leadership. She is ShrubStar's granddaughter, and has a deep interest in the clan's lore. She loves to take apprentices out of camp to visit the sacred shrub. She tags along on training patrols to teach about clan history. Redwind, while she's quite the storyteller, she's incredibly honest. Sometimes too honest. She's very blunt, and this nature makes her opinions extra important to the clan's decision-makings, but sometimes very hurtful. She can be a bit harsh, but she truly does love all of her clanmates deep down. She also has a long scar along her back. I imagine that came from either a fox or a badger or some sort of bigger creature that she fought during battle. Definitely not a cat. Our next elder is Firefur, a black and red spotted tortoiseshell she-cat with short fur and green eyes. Firefur is a bit of a chaotic soul, especially in her later days. She's a very theatrical grandma. She was never able to have kids of her own, but she's willing to participate in any kid game. She especially loves playing the mean mentor, as in her warrior days, she was quite the buzzkill, as she would say. She would stick to work rather than play, but she quickly learned that life is way easier if you just let loose. She's a spicy grandma with a big personality, and she cannot be held back. I didn't necessarily make her a spotted tortoiseshell. I thought a more wispy pattern would suit Firefur a little better. And for the very last ShrubClan cat, we have Ice Slide, a long-haired white she-cat with a blue and cream tipped calico tail and ears, with copper eyes. Ice Slide was once quite the fighter, and has a long list of scars to prove it. She was a daredevil. Her scars had come from fox traps, badgers, and other cats in battle. She calmed down a lot when her mate died of green cough just a few moons before she became an elder. Now she prefers to give cats advice, but she's gotten a bit gloomy and nitpicky. If she tags along on a training patrol, she'll be sure that your hunting crouch is absolutely flawless. If it takes all day, she just says, "I have all the time in the forest." Ice Slide is Vervainier's litter mate, which I tried to show by their coloring, but they went on very different paths and were never very close. That was until they were in their older age, and Ice Slide finally realized why her sister had a soft spot for kits. Ice Slide now loves to play with the kits and get a jump start on their basic training, but that doesn't waver her snappiness. That's all for today. If you guys like this type of video, I'd totally be open to making maybe a part 2 of the Clan Generator Challenge. It was really fun, and I hope you enjoy. If you did, please like the video, and if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing, and see you all in the next video.